Get a couple more laughs than that. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the opportunity to speak on this important topic. I want to start by saying that I made an unhealthy decision last night. It was late at night, and I was craving sugar. So I went into the cupboard and I got Frosted Flakes. I poured myself a nice big bowl of Frosted Flakes and I ate it. And it was really good. Then I proceeded to leave that box of Frosted Flakes on the counter in my kitchen. Then at 8 o'clock this morning, I get a text from my wife with a picture of my son, Matthew, and a face and a fistful of Frosted Flakes as he's eating that. And he was loving it. And if my wife wouldn't have stopped him, he probably would have eaten the whole box. And he probably would have gotten a stomach ache and he probably would have been sick. You see, I'm an adult and I can choose to make an unhealthy choice. I can choose to eat cereal late at night, a sugary cereal that has little to no nutrients. But my son is 2 years old and he doesn't know the consequences of doing that. And so it's my job as his father to protect him. Now, when he grows up and he leaves my home, he can eat as much Frosted Flakes as he wants and he can do whatever he pleases. But while he's in my home, Mr. Chair, my job is to protect him. And Mr. Chair, that's why I'm opposed to this resolution, because this resolution, as many have spoken about, doesn't provide those protections for our children. And, you know, it's been talked a lot about how we need to love people, and absolutely, that's what the Bible commands us to do. But if I believe that what someone is doing is wrong and it's harmful, is it loving for me, Mr. Chair, not to say something? Now, what that person chooses to do with that information is up to them. But when you believe that you love someone, you want to give them the truth. Ultimately, it comes down to, where does truth come from? That's the question that's always on the table at all of our meetings. I believe that truth comes from God. I believe that God created this earth. He created all of us. And he created all of us in his image. And he created us male and female. That's what Genesis teaches us. That's God's design. Whether we like it or not, that's God's design. And since he created this world, he gets to make those rules. And for us to go contrary to that is only going to lead to pain and suffering. It's only when we acknowledge and obey the laws that he created that we find true peace. And I think this is evidence in the fact that there's so many people that have attempted to change their gender, Mr. Chair, and later on regret it later on in their life. And that's why I'm opposed to this, because I believe we should protect our children. And if they're feeling, if they have questions about their gender, if they have concerns and things like that, we should encourage them to wait until they become an adult so that they can make a decision by themselves. But to allow them, Mr. Chair, to do that when they're still a child, when their brain is still developing, when their body is still developing, when their hormones are changing, I don't believe is very wise, Mr. Chair. Lastly, I'll just close by saying this. The answer is submitting to the rules and the laws that God has created. That's the only way that we're going to find true peace in this life. There's a lot of people that have anxiety. There's a lot of people that have angst. I don't think there's anyone in this room that would purport that there's legitimate feelings that people have. There's legitimate beliefs that people have. But when we have that anxiety, when we have that angst, the only way to get rid of that is to place our faith in God and believe and call upon the name of Jesus Christ and ask that he would fill us with that peace that surpasses all understanding, Mr. Chair. Thank you.